Currently in our area, 79 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, mostly cloudy, hot, high 89, winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy this evening with more clouds for overnight. Low 67. Winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 79. Winds north-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook. All right, Hillary, leaving a mark across parts of the West. Some have already seen that mark, others just getting into it, like in the northwestern United States. Neighborhoods here, even in Mexico, dealing with it. Check out the streets filled with high waters here along Baja California. So this is when it first came in. The tropics heating up on the Atlantic side as well. We will have plenty to talk about as the tropics have gone what we call hyperactive for us. We've got 5 areas of concern out there, but could there even be another? All right. That's what I'm going to tease you with. Let's get to the two, Molly just talked about Franklin and what it may do. Invest 91L certainly may come in to Texas with some heavy rain as we go toward tomorrow. You can see this thing bubbling out and through here now. Definitely, a broad circulation. Hurricane hunters will be heading out here. They'll have some stuff for us by about 2 o'clock this afternoon. NHC with 80% chance that this at least becomes a depression. But look at how lopsided it is. You've got storminess to the west, storminess off on the eastern side of this, and even some in the middle too, which is being shrouded by that cone, that little circle there. But it's got to go west because we're on the south side of that big steering ridge over the central United States. So here's the model's depiction of it, potentially a little bit more robust than what is real. But the fact is they bring all this rain in overnight and tomorrow morning before any kind of a center makes it there, right? So maybe this is the center tightening up. Some semblance of it anyway. But remember, until the hurricane hunters get out there, we don't really know where that center is. So it's pretty hard to take something that you don't know where it exists and model it out from there, because you can ask for a lot of error, right? Because you're not exactly right where everything wants to be. But either way, we do think that somewhere in here will be some semblance of a tightening center before it moves ashore. And then look at this, by the time we get into Tuesday 9 p.m., all this is heading up the Rio Grande and in toward western Texas. So what was I talking about this other area in addition to the 5? Well, you can certainly pick out the features that we got here. Here's Franklin. That is going to be of concern after this TD. We'll see what's left of it, but all the guidance blows it up. This could be our first major hurricane. And the big deal is, does it get missed by these troughs, or does it get left behind and scoot toward the west? Uh-oh. We got to watch it. Can you imagine the rain that we had in New England this year dealing with a landfalling hurricane? I don't want to imagine it. But the other thing I was talking about was this kind of broad area of low pressure that sneaks across Central America. And all of a sudden, the European has many members having a little area of low pressure down there. Some are in the Bay of Campeche, some are on the east side, some are over the Yucatan. But I think it's one of those things that we should definitely keep an eye on, because this has to go north if it develops. And we know how warm that water is, so it can easily develop. All right. With 82% of the season, and of course the fact that we are entering the peak now, we got a long way to go, especially given the fact that we've seen a hyperactive tropics. Our next name is Harold. That could be what's in the Gulf, or it could be something else, 92L, which is off the eastern Atlantic. And then we get to the I name storm, which, as you know, Kelly and Molly, I always dread those because we've lost a lot of those names over recent years.
Commonly retired name is the I name, 13 times.
And usually it's because right when we get to the I name storm is when we're at the peak of the season.
That's right.
By the way, they did just interestingly enough update the forecast, about a week or 2 ago, that we're going to have an over
And then
achieving season, and then
all of
boom.
a sudden,
Timing.
yeah,
Good timing.
Good timing on that.
Yeah, this forecast are definitely coming to fruition. You can see, of course, what Hillary has done to Southern California, including Palmdale, some of these desert locations. Molly, seeing tremendous amounts of rain.
And if you're watching from the East Coast and you're watching and you're thinking, okay, 1, 2, 3 inches of rain, that's not that much.
It's not like
No,
that
it is
much.
all relative. You take into account the soil type out there, which Jim mentioned earlier. It's hydrophobic in a lot of areas. It just doesn't absorb water the same way.
And for many of these areas, it's our dry season this time of year. We average maybe a trace, maybe a hundredth of an inch of rain in the month of August, and yet we are overachieving big time. Not just the Southwest, we've got flood watches extending farther north up into Oregon and Idaho, because that's where the remnants of Hillary are going.
And we still have a number of flash flood warnings now through the